At this point in time, this is about the third recording I've done now, and I just deleted the last one that was going in Momentum. So I'm going to start all over again. I'm in May right now. The last video that I made with the 3D model of the car, talking about my plans and I wanted to show off before I actually jump back into 3D development, I said that I would have actually developed it and had it completed by January so I can kick in to do the PCR development and have it completed in April. Reap the rewards of my views and actually just bring my dead YouTube channel with 105 subscribers, show them what I've been working on, and just revive my channel and just start a huge momentum. I thought this year would have been my year. It's May, and I'm still stuck in that feature that I said I would have actually completed back then. And it's May. This feature is still not complete. This is a spreadsheet I made. Now, because my code, you can see in this previous workspace here, this code is quite some line length, right? It's pretty large. This code base by itself, it goes around 9,000 lines on its own. And everything else that it's inheriting from the user UI, that goes above 20,000. That goes maybe above 30,000 if I'm being honest. Or maybe it might be 30,000 all by itself. So for a basic application that looks mid at best, it's taking a lot of code to run. First thing I did during the first week of May, I just said, all right, let me try to optimize it. I spent 3 days optimizing it. Then I slowed down all of that. I said, okay, it's had some performance. I'm going to come back some other time later in the year and do some other optimizations. Anyway, these are the current checklists I have as May. It's not done. There's still more stuff I have done. I've written down. This was back. Yeah, I still have a ways to go in order to actually get the full XIX math view up and running. But these are the few views that I have left, and those are not done. And the optimizations, they upgraded performance by around 4%, and that's not bad. Some of it had to do with the code contribution that I got off Stack Overflow. That's not entirely what actually upgraded the performance. All right, so let me say this is the cool mouse cursor. There's one more thing left for me to do before I call the mouse cursor in my software complete. So I'm going to bring up my application. Oh no, whoops, wrong window. I shouldn't bring it up there. I'm gonna see if I can bring up the terminal. I'm gonna have it run in the GDB. Anywho, here we have GDB started off. Now I should actually warn you, when I ran this raw, it ran at 85 megabytes or something before I actually deleted that recording. So I don't know if it's GDB or whatever. It's just, that's how it is for now. Now let's talk. Let me bring it back ST and then run my stuff above that. I've optimized the blank buttons, and these are these little boxes. That's what I call the blank buttons. Now, the last time since I actually ran that, they actually look a little bit more slimmer than some. Maybe that's because of the integer math. I don't know if I did it right or wrong. I don't really care. It's optimized and it works. And this, it impressed me for a while, this whole front UI. But it needs more. It just looks empty and I'm not really satisfied with it. My plan is this app, Playground Mode, I'm going to use it to retrace FRL and retrace a couple images and actually see if I can get a few women's faces up in the main application window. That'd be kind of nice if I could just have some eye candy to look at, because I'm just looking at this and it looked cool when I first built it, but me knowing that I built this UI out of a very primitive UI engine that I wrote on a cell phone and on a potato cell phone at that, seeing that I got this far, not to mention how performant it is, I'm pretty impressed with what you know God has blessed me to do, and just kind of like my referral liveries make it look cool. This maybe a couple small odd bits of livery here and there, maybe two plus signs down here, whatever. I don't know, but I changed it from outputting the raw text from the SCFG file. This still uses the SCFG file. This is just rendering text from the main UI, from the source file. It's actually glowing. It's not enough. And what I also did was message 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 feature. This is the messages feature, or where I plan in error messages, just like a printf statement, but basically for the app where I can see it, because I have too many debug messages in my terminal. There's too many of these in here, and I still leave them in there for fear of if something pops apart. I need these printf messages to help me, because you can't use GDB 100% of the time. You can't use GDB 100% of the time. So what I have here, is the error messages that pop up, right? I have this close. I move my alias all over the app. And this is like, nothing's actually drawn. So I'm actually going the click and draw mode. I move my name, the PGM application, and like everything that it has to do. And this right here where the mouse is moving, this is my attempt to make a cool looking CAD-like cursor to make it look hacky. And I have this also print a mode also as well. There's one last corner, the mouse cursor that, the text that actually tells how long the line is and by how much angles. I always planned in my head that I wanted it to fall around the mouse cursor when I draw it, when I draw a line, but it's still not there and it's still not done, right? So I wasted like 4 months trying to implement or set up stuff for the feature, and now it's still not finished. And this is just basically to show off the cursor, the new cursor. So this is the basic line, the stippled line. Like I said, I want this moved under the cursor. Now the stippled line, I got this code from somebody on Stack Overflow. Definitely took time out to tell me, and he chopped it up in like 2 days. What a maverick. This does some sort of optimized vector math, distance calculation math from like trigonometry that I wasn't actually, I didn't know what it was called. So I can say, yeah, maybe I should put a little bit more research into my math. But this does work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw this right here. I'm gonna enable the angle locking. Now, when I push a special mode key to actually enable the special mode, that mode will actually go into activation and tell it to the user, hey, this mode is on, and it has a special color code. Now, what I wanted to do was actually make it glow, just like the text up here. I wanted to actually make it glow, but I just skipped it altogether. Maybe I'll just leave it as is. Too much glowing, too much color fading isn't really too good. Right. So I have the angle locking. Now this is a feature from Ever Legends, and classic fashion, in classic fashion, right? I kind of took it because like what I'm building the exporter kit, and this is one of the tools that I need to get there and get that tool done, right? Let's see if we can get something up like this. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I tried, you know, building this up. The next thing that I have to deal with is the next thing I have to deal with is so like I'm not really impressed with what I made here. This looks basic to me. It looks basic as hell. I hope I really hope that I can actually be finished with this thing and just move on to something else because this just looks basic to me. Doesn't look all that good. Now, what I plan is I draw very mathematical. I draw very awkward. I tried using Blender. I tried using Kritza, GIMP, and all these things, but I can't draw like that. It was always been trouble. The only game that allowed me to draw properly was Ever Legends. And now I spent the last few times trying to build the exporter kit so I can draw that same way. And this is another tool that will enable to draw me, that I'd be able to draw in a special way. Where I can see length and angles and just do math in my head on the fly and actually just render what I need to render on the screen. Now this thing is going to be very load heavy. I actually fixed a few bugs last night to actually make sure it doesn't die on me. I don't want this software to croak on me. It'll look pretty bad. Um, let's see. That's the angle locking feature. And what else is there? The copy clicking. To show off that one. I'm gonna draw like a much more haphazard Bezier curve. And actually do this. And the Boolean was already enabled. I didn't disable it. That's another bug, but it's mediocre. It's not really necessary. Could just click, take a point from there. Now I need this feature when I actually import images and I start to retrace. When I start to retrace shapes from images, and that's how I'm gonna actually get the woman to be displayed on the screen. I could use this, overcast it over an image, and that would help. See the red highlighting there. I still got some more bugs from this that I haven't actually fixed. So it's not bad. And then there's this. I gotta put on the cursor, and then there's this. I'm gonna delete it. This was the original version. So it's done. So let's see the angle locking. Then there's the node mirroring. Let's see if it crashes. Yeah. Oh, I didn't select it. The node mirroring. We go. Oops. Oh shit. I can't mirror node. Oh no. Looks like I have a bug there, and I'll definitely have to time out to fix that one. Oh no, it crashed, boys. It crashed. NC 184. I did say that there was some corners in it regarding. Let me get this. I don't know how to use VS Code. I should actually try to actually do this at the moment, but it crashes, so. There's plenty of segmentation faults in this, and I have to time out to try to learn how to fix them. And like I said, this is just 11,000 lines of spaghetti code, and I think the best text editor that would be cut out for this task would be Kate. Visual Studio Code here, I'm still learning my way around it. Understand it's basically, oh wait, it's not Visual Studio Code, it's Electron. It's basically Electron, right? I can understand that it's hot cake, but there's not a C or C++ plugin for me to actually use for this thing. And on top of that, it's more or less, I'm just starting to learn my way around it. So like I'm more or less used to Kate, even though it looks uglier than Visual Studio Code or even this thing, Pantheon Code. Or it's uglier than Notepad QQ. It's more functional. It and Qt Creator are the most functional. And preferably on Qt Creator, I don't like to use it on laptop. I like to use it on my TV, where it actually looks a lot more better on the bigger screen. Kate, that's the best one for me to use. I still can't believe like it's not like implemented, right? I spent like 4 months on this thing and it's still not like where I want it to be. I spent a lot of time actually pouring in a lot of code into this to make it work the way it should be working, right? And yet so still I'm actually just basically flabbergasted at how worthless this thing looks. So I'm thinking, I'm assuming, and I hope it would take under 2 weeks because I already spent January implementing arrows since, you know, implementing specific types of arrows, implementing arcs, all sorts of specific stuff in Bridget that isn't there. Now, I want to give a simple preempt. Why I spent my time writing this for the last year It's because I need playground mode to help me build the remainder of the exporter kit. Now you look at the application as it is. It's Vim-like. That's because I didn't actually coding any buttons that actually clicked. Now for me, if I'm going to implement a button, I need the F-roll liveries because I want my buttons to look pretty and art styly. This was the basic UI I cobbled up using the existing architecture and code from what I wrote on my cell phone back in 2023. When I wrote it on a potato cell phone, this was the best looking app I could have cobbled up using a cell phone, and a potato cell phone at that. Not to mention how performant it is. The base mode, I need this app to actually retrace the F-roll decals and retrace a couple images, and I also need it to write a custom mode to like write as a map maker, as a thing to help me do shader, image map, image based lighting, and image based graphical modifications. I'm gonna use this app for doing it. And see, I spent a lot of time on Bezier curves. It might be useful for terrain generation and stuff like that. So this is what I need. EGM4, right? It's gonna be like the cornerstone app that I need for everything in the future. So I'm like trying to make sure it works like a well-oiled machine at this point in time. I still have more stuff to do. I'm gonna spend time upgrading the features, and maybe today I'm gonna look for as much bugs as possible and actually just try to bug fix it. Try to see if I can get mirror node working because I kind of need that to work at the moment. And the PCR ripoff thing that I need to do, I need to trace over cars and do a basic entity component system within this app, right? That's what I need it for. It's still not done, and I'm still not impressed with how far I've actually gotten, despite it being like something that take this amount of lines from me. I don't know how. I'm kind of disappointed how far I got with it. That's what I'm saying. And it still looks basic and bland. Like you seen what it was capable of when I like did the advanced math view with the angle locking, but it's still not really enough for me. I'm gonna try to put more energy in it and try to get it complete, and hopefully the math mode might give me convincing that I didn't waste so many months, so many time trying to implement that measly little feature that really didn't need to be there. That I wanted as eye candy because I'm a numbers guy, I'm a math head, and all that stuff. That's what I'm upset about. I'm gonna go end the video. Back hurts, y'all.